What's happening, people? Dan Lawless here, West Ham Fan TV. We've just watched West Ham beat Wolves 4-0. I can't believe it. Matt, unbelievable, mate.
We didn't expect that, did we?
No.
We really didn't. I mean, what can you say? I mean, is like you can say, well, let's not get carried away, but let's do it just for a moment. You know,
Exactly. Let's enjoy it.
Let's enjoy it a bit. You know, I mean, in the same way as the last game, you know, after the cup game, again, a lot of people complaining why they're not giving a chance to Haller, why they're not giving a chance to Anderson, etc., etc. But obviously, you know, we're only seeing one half of the side. You know, what are they seeing on the training game ground day in, day out? You know, that we're not seeing. That means that these guys are staying out of the team. You know, and that the manager and the coaching staff have the faith in the same lineup. You know, so today they proved it. You know, we look better. Like I was saying with Nicky last time after the Arsenal game, a lot of positives, but let down by sloppy defensive mistakes and you know, a little bit of clinical finishing. But today we built on those positives, and it all just came together, really, didn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it's funny you talk about sort of the finishing and things like that, because when I see in the first half, you know, we had some big chances we missed, and I thought, here we go, it's going to come back to bite us. But we created more chances than usual, and I think that was.
You know what? I think going back to the 3-5-2, you know, 5-4-1 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, whichever combination you want to go for.
Whatever you want to call it. 3 at the back is really good for us. Why? Because it frees up Bowen more, I think. He's not so focused in defending. He still puts it about. He still gets involved, but it frees him up more up front. Having Fornals, I mean, look at someone like Fornals today. I mean, okay, could he lack more composure in front of goal? Definitely, without a doubt. You know, but I would have loved that shot to go in instead of Bowen taking it, just for the confidence, you know, because I think he's a little bit of a confidence player. But it shows why Noble shouldn't be a starter anymore. You know, it just gives us that other option, a little bit more calm, you know, and a little bit more industrious. But I mean, Masuaku, what do you think? Man of the match?
Yeah, I thought he had a brilliant. And again, and I've been saying that this formation really suits him. It really does wonders for him, and you know, it allows him to really get forward and do what he does well. And yeah, brilliant for Masuaku. I'm buzzing for him.
And plus, not many people get Traore taken off after 60 minutes in his back pocket, you know, and he didn't let him bully him. He showed him the outside line. He didn't let him cut inside, because that's always the worry. And I mean, you could see with our game plan that there were moments that we were doubling up against him, you know, because, you know, the worry that he breaks you, turns you behind your back and goes on in the inside and you're done, you know. But I mean, didn't let him. Got to talk about Balbuena, the general.
Of course, well. Yeah. The only change this week, the only obviously change in the lineup when it coming in.
Fantastic. Like I say, I still think we need another left centre back. But Cresswell today, I mean, that was more of a 2015 Cresswell. You know, I mean, he really. I think the difference with Balbuena is he sometimes gives us that no nonsenseness that you need in the defence, just occasionally, just to get rid. That occasionally we don't have when Diop's playing. I like Diop. I think he's got potential, but I think maybe this will be. I think Balbuena's been chomping at the bit to get a chance. He's got his chance, and I think that healthy competition between Diop and Balbuena will bring out the best of both of them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about LA, you know, not being able to get in the side. I mean, he's come on late in the game and scored a cracking header. You know, I mean, that's 5 goals in 5 appearances, considering that some of those appearances were for a very short amount of time on the pitch. I mean, he's in great form.
Yeah. And you know what? I watched the Leeds game this morning, and Bamford scored a goal similar, you know, a similar goal there.
Yeah.
And he said, Jack Harrison, the left winger, said, put the ball in, and he knows that Bamford will be there. And that's what we need to look for. Like, get that kind of click with someone like Masuaku, because that was a hell of a ball that he put in. I mean, that was right on the money. So if we can get that kind of routine getting in there, you know, and And maybe, you know, if we're losing a game or not winning, bring on a Haller at 70 minutes. Because to be honest, today you couldn't drop Antonio. I mean, on today's performance, I mean, the guy ran himself into the ground. But
yeah, scored last week as well, so he couldn't. It's just the ideal, isn't it? The dream is if there's a way we can get them together, that's the dream.
We need 12 players, mate, so we can play a 5-4-2.
yeah, exactly.
That'll be, and I mean, you know, I was critical of Bowen last week that he was not composed. He looked frustrated. He looked tired to me last week. And I mean, today showed, like, I know Moyes likes a right winger that can cut in and hit it with the left foot, like Yarmolenko does as well.
Yeah.
Bowen did it, but Bowen scored a Yarmolenko goal today. But what does he do? He offers so much more to the game. You know, I mean, Yarmolenko last week with the second Arsenal goal, he was at fault defensively. And Bowen today ran himself into the ground, you know, and on the other wing, Masuaku was brilliantly defensively, even better offensively. And I mean, it looks like it's fitting into place. I mean, granted, we've got some really tough games coming up, you know, but my hope is that we've got the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup game against Everton. Now that's going to be a real challenge because the whole game wasn't really against the full whole side. You know, it was a little bit of a run out there. So if these guys like Anderson, like Haller can get a good game against good competition, get them up to like Premier League standard match fitness and match sharpness, we're going to have a lot more options ready to be fighting for these places, you know. And you know, Fornals we've got there behind Antonio right now. Who's to say fit, match ready Felipe Anderson wouldn't wreak havoc behind there, you know? With the way that, you know, you can just imagine it now. An on-form Anderson that's liberated of too much defensive work because of Rice and Souček behind him, with a link-up play with the trickery that Masuaku has. Could you imagine it?
Yeah, honestly, I'm getting excited just thinking. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. So it's to see. I mean, obviously, look, we still need to do stuff in the transfer window. The hope is that they don't see this and get, you know, too happy.
Fredericks, mate, that's one that we've got to look out for because I like Ben Johnson. I think he's got good, but playing wing back and playing full back are different positions. And the only thing is that if we have a wonderful wing back in Masuaku, what we'll do is, and Ben Johnson, that's more of a traditional fullback, will end up lining up most of our attacks on the left-hand side, will become too easy to read, you know, and we'll end up, you know, teams knowing how we're going to play. So we really do need a Fredericks-esque right back, maybe even someone a little bit better offensively, because Fredericks just doesn't have that quality of ball. And all, you know, he can put in a good cutback, you know, but those kind of whipping, curving balls that Masuaku, for example, put in for the fourth goal today. I mean, you give Fredericks 100 of those and he wouldn't put in a ball of that, you know. So I mean, if we could get someone in on that right flank that could balance out the style of play with Masuaku, link up again, you know, with Bowen, with the number 10, because then, like we saw again, we've got Souček, corners, dead balls, Antonio, Souček, Haller, you know, I mean, we've got so much danger in there. And like I said, you've got to take the positives out of today. And I think Everton is really going to be a good judge for us. And then, well, let's see Leicester. I mean, we've got Leicester coming up afterwards. And Leicester today, I don't know if you saw the game, but the second half, they turned it on against Man City. So, I mean, and, you know, Jamie Vardy's got a knack of sticking them in against us. So, I mean, you know, if we can build up the confidence and get ready for Leicester, get a good result against Leicester, and then stuff the spuds after that, I think it could be a bit of a change to the season, no? But, well, wishful thinking. But, I mean, you got to take these. It's not every day a result like this happens. So we've got to take the positive and we've got to build on it.
Absolutely.
What do you think Moyes not being there had a difference?
Well, I mean, it's all you can say is, you know, every game that Irvine's, you know, been leading on the touchline he's won. So, I mean, it could be. I mean, the thing is as well, he was on the phone to Piercy. Piercy's got his headset on, probably putting instructions down there. Maybe it helps is to have someone on the touchline, but have someone feeding instructions. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's a winning formula. Let's not change it. Stay home next week, boys. Let's see how it goes.
No, and I think he's happy with a 5-3-2. You know, 5-4-1. Sorry. you know, because really, you can tell that from the last time that he had us, you know, when we stayed up, and this time, I mean, if it's possible for him to play it, I think that's what he prefers, because really, when we play with a flat back four, we look completely different. We look lost. We look disorganized. And it's only like this that we look a little bit better. And just got to keep the players fit. And more than anything, mate, I think the best thing is a result like that will maybe make Rice not send that text to Mason Mount about putting the bid in from Chelsea, you know? So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, because we've just got a couple more weeks to go before that window shuts, and you know, just got to get a couple of more of these results in, so he can stay with us, because I think it's going to be a crucial thing, because it's not only losing him, is that we won't have any chance to bring in anyone else in that transition, you know, and we'll end up really stuck, and then we'll end up with Noble again.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I love Noble, but we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that.
I love him too, but you've got to understand that the pace of the game, he just doesn't have the legs for it. And, you know, and bringing him on at 70 minutes, 75 minutes to shore up the game is fantastic, but not starting the game, you know, that ship sailed, I think. So,
well, let's enjoy the win today, mate, and hopefully when we speak to you next week, it's similar feelings. So. Now, I appreciate you for coming on, mate. And we'll speak to you next week. And come on, you guys.
Yes.